Welcome everyone to this very special episode because the Secret Garden of Kadena is minting in 2 days, and I guess there's a lot of things you guys want to know. So in this video, you'll get everything you need to know for the upcoming mint. Welcome, Kyle. I'm happy to have you on here. How's your day going?
It's great, man. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for waking up this early. It's actually around 5 a.m. at Kyle, so I appreciate that. And you also had the space yesterday with the Alpha Slayers, which I did re-listen because I don't know, I missed out on it again. But do you want to start and give us a little overview, and then we'll get into some questions for the mint?
Sure. So Secret Garden of Kadena is a gaming project. We do have some NFT collections where we're releasing a Freemint in 2 days. We'll have a 2D collection after that. We're working on it currently. I've released a sneak peek on our Twitter and Discord a couple days ago. The artwork is very nice. But we'll be selling that one, using that money to crowdfund for the games. But we're going to be a multi-gaming protocol, basically. So we have plans over the next several years to build multiple games. We want to create a little small gaming ecosystem inside of Kadena and possibly other chains as well. And so we want to have a place where people can just come and play a whole bunch of games from a bunch of different genres, from tower defense to MOBA, eventually like a role-playing game and those type of things as well. So yeah,
talking about games, you already have your battle, how's it called, Battle Blocks Heroes?
Battle Blocks Heroes, yes,
right. The beta is out. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's done in a low poly boxy style. It's basically a survival battle game. It's meant to be kind of hyper casual. It's not one of those games when you open it up, it's going to have 25 different buttons on the main screen with all this different stuff you can do. Basically you can choose from one of 5 heroes. You can choose from one of 3 maps, and then you just go in the game, and the enemies come out in waves. So they're basically coming at you from different angles, and you just got to run around the map and survive. So it's meant to be just kind of a simple, fun, hyper casual battle game.
Yeah, you mentioned it. It's going to be simple, fun, and it is free to play for the community, right? Which you could also use instead of Smash Cut and whatsoever. And I think this also proves that you are being serious with that gaming stuff, because your first game is free. Your first NFT collection is also free. And you've mentioned there's not a specific utility, let's say, for long term. But I think because you're also creating multiple games and all of that, your first NFT is going to have a bunch of utility being added for all sorts of things you're going to do, right?
Yeah, we have a lot of plans for the future, but the main utility for this first collection up front, well, we wanted to do something free for the community. They've been really good to me and my brother, and with my YouTube channel and stuff as well. So we just wanted to do something free. It's good for marketing. It brings people into Kadena that may have never heard of Kadena before. Get several people we've been trying to help get wallets set up before the mint, because they have no idea, they've never been on Kadena before. So we're just trying to grow the ecosystem as well by bringing people in. But yeah, we haven't tied a long-term utility to that yet. Right now, it's just a whitelist for the 2D collection, which will save you a little money up front. You get to mint a little bit faster with that. So, we just for now, it's just that we have some ideas for other utilities and stuff, but right now we're really just focused on making incredible art and then making fun to play games.
I think this is also really, really great strategy. You could have done nothing and just wait until you release the Gen 1 collection, which we are also going to talk in a second. But getting those people together and actually like explaining everyone what you are wanting to do, because you also have some serious partners and you have a lot of connections with other projects that you are building with. So do you want to tell us a little bit about the projects you are working with, and with that, what the reasons are you are building on the blockchains and utilizing these projects? Because this is a big thing of blockchain games building on the blockchain, which are not really a blockchain game. So why are you working with the projects you're working with?
Well, we wanted to find some good partners that were kind of experts in what they did. So as we came up with the idea of Secret Garden, we started reaching out to, I had made a bunch of contacts in the community from my YouTube channel. So I just started reaching out to anybody and everybody I could, trying to find, smart contract developers and people for UI and UX and different things like that. So we wanted to run on Kadena, build on Kadena. Obviously, we love the blockchain. We think it's got great potential for the future. It's proof of work, so it's decentralized and it's just secure, and they've made it scalable, and we just think it's a great chain. The team behind it's amazing. We wanted to run our games on as decentralized possible, and that's why we chose to run on Flux. And thank goodness to people at Flux liked our project and our ideas, and they decided to partner with us. So that's one of our major partnerships we have. And excuse me, from my understanding, they have some partnerships with other gaming projects, but none of those games are ready. So they're telling us that Battle Blocks Heroes will be their first game to ever run on Flux. So
Awesome.
it's going to be a little bit of a test run for them as well to make sure everything works. But they're very excited to get a game and be able to put it on Flux. So that's a great partnership for us, and we hope we're going to run all of our games on Flux. We'll decentralize all of them, so that'll be an interesting thing to do. Kind of leading the way in that. So we were partnered with Tech Fleet. Tech Fleet has been great with helping us out with website ideas and how it should all flow. And we've been meeting with them weekly or twice a week for the last month or so to try to get all that down on how everything's really going to work with the websites. Our artist and consultant is a company called MetaZoom. It's a Web3 agency. And their artist has been amazing. Everything so far has really kind of blown us away, from the Pixel collection, the Gen Zero that we're minting in a couple days, all the way up to the 2D collection that we're working on now. Everything has been great. So yeah, we've got some partnerships in place that we think will really help us to move into the future. We're also kind of working on some other partnerships. We've made some connections over with some people with Stargaze, which is an NFT minting platform on Cosmos, and a couple of games over there. We've been on the spaces and trying to kind of build, maybe toying with the idea of building out on Cosmos as well.
Awesome. So you made a lot of connections, and I think you also learned a lot from building multi-chain and also connecting to all the different little pieces and trying to bring them together. So what would your roadmap be in the next 3 to 6 months after minting on Sunday?
Yeah. So yeah, we'll mint that collection on Sunday. Of course, that'll start bringing us in some royalties, which will help to kind of start building up the treasury a little bit. We're hoping in the next month. I'd love to do it maybe early March if we can, to put out the 2D collection, and get that out there, which gives us the funding. At that point, of course, we connect with the game developer. We start building out the games. We on that side of it, and then we start working on the NFT collections, which will be the rewards that'll be tied to in the end game. And we'll start kind of building out all that. We'll continue working with Tech Fleet to make sure that our websites and everything are working well. We've got a pack smart contract developer that's agreed to do our smart contracts, and he's also starting to work with Tech Fleet as well. So yeah, it's all those pieces are kind of coming together. So we're hoping in 3 months we're close to having a game done, or have a game done, or something in those regards. But it may take a little bit longer depending on how big the game is and what all we want to do with it. So.
And for that game, the Gen 1 collection, is that going to be used for that game then?
It'll be what we're kind of trying to do is that in the game you'll have different classes of characters, so barbarians, wizards, whatever. So people that with the 2D collection will later on be able to go in and choose one of 2 playable in-game characters. So if you go out and buy an NFT, then later you'll be able to go in and mint either a barbarian or a wizard, and that'll be a free mint. So you'll kind of get to choose your battle gnome, which one you want to play in game. If you want to buy 2 of the 2D collection and grab one of each, you can do that, and you have access to the game to play each one. So, and then the reward system will also be other in-game characters. So when you play the game, if you win that day or do what you need to do that day to get an NFT, you'll get like an archer or something that you can either play with or you can sell. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So basically, you get the first Freemint right now, And after that, you get to the Gen 1 collection, which are the 2D gnomes or dwarfs. Which one do you prefer?
Gnomes.
Gnomes. All right. After that, you'll be able to choose one of two in game and then play with it and continue with it. So do you have any more details on the game? What you've been planning ahead, or?
Yeah, we took a poll on our in our Discord, and of course, everybody chose RPG, which would be great if we were going to make $1 million off the mint, you know. But no, there's no possibility of us making that much off the mint. You know, our mint price isn't going to be terribly high. We're not doing a ton of NFTs, so you know, we'll be a little limited on budget. So we're trying to find a game for the first game at least, and then as we go, we'll build bigger and bigger. So we're trying to start organic and build up. You know, start small and build. So, we figured a tower defense would be a good first game. It's not the maps and all that stuff, you know, the worlds and everything. It's just easy to build the maps, and it's kind of easy to set it all up. You just focus mostly on the gameplay. And we've already got some like to save time and money. We've already found some pre-made assets on the Unity store that we're going to get, and we're going to reskin to make them look like, you know, gnomes and the battle levels stuff. But we've actually got 7 different ideas for tower defenses. Games we've found during our research or ideas that we've had that are different from other games. We may end up doing a poll in the Discord just to see what ideas people, you know, what people think about the ideas and if they have any ideas, and try to kind of build off that. Where we are really community focused. We're trying to take as much feedback as possible and build out the project like people want. You know, if everybody jumped up and said they hated tower defense, I wouldn't build one, you know. But so far, everybody loves the idea of a tower defense. My favorite game is Clash Royale, which is a tower defense.
Yeah,
I've played
dude, I love it.
every day for 7 years, you know, just a little bit here and there, a few minutes a day. But it's just kind of a simple, fun game that people can hop in and play for a little while. You don't have to spend hours and hours and hours playing it unless you just want to. You know, they're more strategy-based games and things like that. So we've got some ideas for that, and so that's probably what our first game is going to be, is a tower defense.
Awesome. So later on, I'm gonna add you in Clash Royale and then beat you. This one
I'll take that
is at first.
challenge.
Awesome, awesome. You'll see. But I think you guys are doing a really smart approach to all of this, because if we are talking about mass adoption in blockchain, in Kadena or whatever, it's gonna be used for 1,000 different things, right? And you having games which you can just play, doesn't have to be something like, I don't know, a cat casa building or Kazora, right? Which is one game and takes really, really many resources. You want to do like a little arcade and many different games, and I think that's gonna be huge. This is like what's be needed here, because just like the wizards, right? You can use them on your phone. You can play some PvP. You can take part in tournaments, and I think that's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, and you know, I never talk bad about anybody's projects or anything like that. But you know, some people have, you know, huge games they're building, CAD cars and Kazora and all those. I mean, they look like they're really big, beautiful, nice games and stuff. And we want to get to that point at some point, possibly. But sometimes those games take a year or 2, 3 years to build those games. You know, we want our games to be a little more simple and fun. You know, like we're not, at least now, we're not looking to build out these massive games. We want them to be just real simple and fun games that people can hop in and play for a few minutes here and there. Like I said, like a Clash Royale, you know, just something that's not overly massive. Of course, Clash Royale has gotten a lot bigger, but when it first started, I think it only had like 12 cards to choose from, 12 people to choose from, and it was a real small game, and they just built over time. And that's kind of our idea, you know, not try to go overboard and build this massive thing off the bat. Just find a really fun little game to put out and start small. And then next game, we may do a MOBA, or we may do a Farmville type of game where they have to run around and collect things and build things and stuff like that. So we've got a lot of different ideas. It all just depends on how we're building and how things are going, how the market's looking and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a completely different project if you build a game and you are like a game shop in the arcade, right? You're creating many different games in our own ecosystem, which you can then also implement into the arcade. And this is another thing which I really like. As I also mentioned your partners, right? You're working with all the different partners, and it's not just to benefit you and benefit them, but with those partners, you can also connect many other different Kadena projects and metaverses and have your NFT appear in this and that, right? And this is what really fascinates me. And with the NFT technology and every dev who knows how to code and all of that. And I think this is what's really beautiful about what we are trying to build here, and also you trying out the technology and then connecting all of that together. So this is what really gets me excited, and what I think will rise adoption and awareness.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, we're trying to do some innovative stuff. The idea of us going to Cosmos, there's besides Tempe, I don't think anybody else is trying to do that. So, from our understanding and our conversations with people on Kadena and Cosmos, we believe it's possible to do. So we're gonna try, and then if we're successful, or even if it doesn't work, people can learn off of that, and maybe it help the other projects in the future. We think we can do it. We'll definitely be able to build on Kadena. And we want to go cross chain. We've even been toying with the idea of maybe going over to Matic and building cross chain over there. We know a couple people that's got connections over there to the gaming universe that they're building over there. So we've got some options if we wanted to build out and grow out a little bit because we do want to be cross chain. Everybody in crypto should know that the future is cross chain. There's no one chain that's going to win. Each one has their own use case and stuff like that, and a lot of them will fail. Just like the internet boom in the 90s. 95% of those companies that came out in that time period failed. It's the major ones that are still around that survived. So a lot of these blockchains may or may not survive, but if we go cross chain and one of them goes down, it's not detrimental to the project. We've still got the other chains that we're working on, and the project can stay afloat.
What exactly are you building on Cosmos, or how are you connecting that?
So yeah, when we first started speaking about the Cosmos thing, everybody was like, "Oh, there's no real bridge yet. It's going to be hard for the cross chain functionalities and all this stuff." And I started thinking about it, and I was like, "Well, I don't necessarily think that we need like really a bridge, because the way we're planning on doing our games for now is the NFTs just give you access to the games. For now, we're not trying to put your NFT into the game and integrate all the little traits and everything. We're not really going to worry with all of that. The NFT would just give you access. So all we need is kind of gatekeep functions. We would need like an X wallet, Koala wallet, whatever wallets people use on Kadena, and then maybe Kepler on Cosmos, and then just have wallet connect functions. And then you would just need smart contracts to be able to pay in for the tournament stuff, pay out for the winnings, pay out for the NFTs that are going to be play to own for the rewards, maybe a few others. And a lot of those smart contracts have already been created on those networks. You can basically just copy and paste them with the new admin key and stuff, and you've already got the wallet connect functions and the pay in to pay out. So we do think there will be a couple of aspects of the smart contracts that will be a little bit harder. But I know on the Kadena side, the dev that we have has already built his own project, like 3 of his own projects by himself, basically. I don't have any doubt that he can come up with a few smart contracts to make ours work. And from the Cosmos side, the people we've talked to over there, the people we've talked to, Siri's always trying to talk to me. I don't like but the people we've talked to over there kind of agreed when we told them our plans. They were like, yeah, you probably wouldn't really need any major bridge type of thing going on. You just have wallet connect functions, and we would just set our website up to where you can connect with Kepler or X wallet or whatever, and play the games that way. And the games will be free play anyway. So you don't need an NFT, you don't need a wallet, you don't need a nothing. You can just come to our website and play the games for free if you want to. Of course, there'll probably be some in-game purchasable stuff. That way, if people get in game and they want to buy stuff, that helps the project by giving us funding. But if you're an NFT holder, you'll be able to play to earn. You'll be able to participate in other events and other special perks. but we're opening it up to everybody. And that's something that a lot of other projects are doing now. And I think it's a very good thing in general when it comes to Web3 gaming, because when you make only NFT holders can play your game, you bottleneck that project
Yep.
so much. You're limiting your game to 2,000 people or 3,000 people, whatever NFT collection you built. And it's hard to survive as a gaming project if, because not all those people can play all the time. They, people can't play very often. So you only get, maybe 100 or 200 people playing a day. It's just hard to survive a project with that low of volume and anticipation. So when you open it up free to everybody, you get the opportunity of possibly of tens of thousands of people coming into your project and playing. And even if it's only a small portion of them are paying something in to play to buy stuff for the game or whatever it might be, that can be enough to keep the project afloat, especially if you're, with some of the other functions, where we're getting KDA, right now it's $1.25 or whatever it is. But if that ever goes back up to $28 or $50 or something in the future, what we're bringing in from that will be more than enough to sustain the project, we think, for long term and grow it to much bigger games.
As you said, long term. I mean, every time say that you are building for the long term, and that's why, I think this cross chain is pretty smart. I mean, you could try and build it for the pump right now, or you can think a few steps ahead, and try and see what should you connect, what would work, what would make sense. Because if you just ignore this and stay stuck in your own line, I don't know how things are going to turn out and how you're going to get all the people. So I think this is pretty great. And to your space yesterday, I mean, what you said now with Cosmos is a bit over over my head, but it sounds very interesting. I gotta listen more to that and learn a bit more about all that Cosmos stuff, because I've been behind on that.
Yeah. Cosmos is a very cool ecosystem. It's they're kind of trying to do a little bit something like kind of what Polkadot's doing. They're trying to make it an interoperable chain where any chain can come connect with Cosmos, and then once you're connected with Cosmos, you're automatically connected with every other chain that's connected to Cosmos. And so it's a very interesting project, and I've been a big fan of Cosmos for since I got into crypto. It was some of the first ones I really started diving into, and I've owned it for a long time. Had a farming position on Osmosis for several months, or a year and a half probably. So anyway, it's a great chain, and KDA and Cosmos already have a partnership. From my understanding, the coding language is kind of all both based off of Haskell. And that makes it easier to be interoperable. And there's even a lot of rumors and belief that like Marmalade NFT technology will be able to work on Atom at some point. So there's a good chance that every NFT on KDA that's Marmalade will be cross-chain as well. You'll be able to just do what you want over there as well. So it only makes sense. Okay, look, if that's already in place and if that's already working, let's take advantage of that. Let's be one of the first to try to do that and chain and make it work. I mean, everybody can do it. Everybody can. They'll start coming to us, asking us how we did it, who we did it, what we did, and we can start connecting people because we want to help people grow as well. So if we find out some information during this process that can help other projects do it as well, we'll do that. No problem. Come to us.
Awesome, man. Hey, you definitely gotta keep me updated on that side. But getting back to the mint, can you tell us at what time it's gonna mint again and how many everyone can mint? Because there have been some changes, I believe, right, in the tier system.
We initially had a 3-tier system: OG, whitelist, and public. And we were going to give 3 to the OGs, 2 to the whitelist, and 1 to the public. We didn't know at the time when we made that system that Arkade wasn't going to be able to do a 3-tier system. It was only a 2-tier system. And that's not Arkade's fault. They have a system that they have built and they've been using. And so I don't want anybody to get mad at them and think they did something wrong or anything like that. They've been amazing to us. But it just doesn't work with our system. So we basically had to make some changes. So we decided to just combine the OGs and whitelist together for the first mint. That'll be the 12th at 1900 GMT. And so that those people, the whitelist and the OGs, will be able to go in and mint 3 each. We just made it an even 3 across the board. So far with the whitelist and OGs that we have, we think that's going to be somewhere around 500 NFTs, 550 that might be sold during that time period, which leaves the other half of the collection basically for public, which will be 24 hours later on the 13th. I initially wanted to just give everybody one, but after talking with some people on marketing strategies and different things, they thought it'd be a better idea to give everybody 3 in public. So during the public mint, you'll be able to go in and get mint 3 NFTs per transaction until all of them are gone. No, there will be no caps on wallet addresses. You'll be able to mint as many as you want. So we're just going to drop that collection and let it run out quick. Let it sell out fast.
And how fast do you think it's gonna sell out in public?
I thought it would sell out probably in a few hours with us doing 1 at a time. So doing 3 at a time, I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to brag or anything. I mean, it's just when you just think of the numbers, the math of it all, it could easily sell out in an hour.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I also think so.
I think that public mint's going to go pretty super fast. I remember when, who was it? The Monster Punks. That was a free mint also a while back. I haven't heard anything from them in a while, but they may be gone. I don't know. But they did a free mint of, I think it was 1,000, something like that as well. And man, it was like a fight. Like, I mean, people mad at each other because like
and the wizards too, right?
Mad dash scramble to get as many of those as possible. Like everybody was just fighting for them. Anyway, so but we figure it'll be similar on ours. We've got 400 and something people in our Discord now. So if even half of them show up to try on that public mint trying to grab some, it's going to go pretty quick.
So. Yeah, I mean, the Wizards also had their first free mint and minted out in a few minutes, and I think nobody really wants to miss out on any dope free mints on Kadena anymore. And also, after the first 500 are gone, I mean, it's going to be dope. Do you know if we can mint from mobile?
It's a good question. I don't know. I've honestly never played with the X Wallet app. Does it have? I know it can connect to Kaddex and some other websites. I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Arkade yet.
Okay, it should work because I was minting those rings too from mobile, so should work.
Yeah, if X Wallet, last I heard, X Wallet has the website capability now to connect mobile to websites and do transactions. So if that's possible on Arkade, then it should be possible on mobile to grab some. I don't play much on mobile. I don't do a ton of crypto stuff on my phone. Like I don't have many wallets and stuff on my phone. That's just a security issue. I keep it all on.
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff building. I mean, I'm also waiting for the integrations for NFTs and the wallets and all of that. So I think that's gonna be awesome downloading those wallets. But is the reveal gonna be instant or is it gonna be a few hours, days? Years?
I don't think Arkade does it instant. I'm trying to think. Honestly, that's something we haven't discussed. I'd be okay with doing it instant. I may have to mention that to Arkade, but I want to say in the past when Arkade has done mints, it's been a little while before you get the reveal.
But I think the 90s bulls were instant reveal. I think Spinks too, right? It was like a minute or so after.
Maybe that's something we can control. Well, I'll definitely talk to them about that. Thank you for bringing that up. That's something that I didn't even think about for some reason in our conversation. So thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, me personally, I like instant reveals. I don't like waiting to see my NFTs like buy them, wait 24. You wait all this time for the mint, and then you wait another 24, 48 hours. So I do know that the marketplace, depending on how fast it sells out, they may be able to have the marketplace up and running that same day. But it could be up to 48 hours for the marketplace to be up. So for ours, so anybody that's looking to flip them may have to wait a little while to be able to do that. But
after minting out or after the sale goes live? I mean, after it mints out, right? All right, awesome. Yeah, usually it takes like 1 or 2 days. So I mean, I think the market activity is gonna be pretty fun.
Yeah. We're doing 2 play to earn systems in the game. Currently, we've decided not to do a token. I've mentioned this in a couple of spaces here recently. I think what Wizards is doing with their token is brilliant, and it makes me want to
Yeah.
rethink having a token, just the way that they're utilizing theirs. The problem with having a play to earn game with the token is if you pay everyone that plays every day your token, it keeps so much of a sell pressure on it because everybody's trying to make that profit and they're selling fast, and eventually it just kind of dies out. Like, it's hard to sustain those type of projects. So we decided to go against a token project, at least in that regard, to where everybody wins every day. But the play to earn systems we're going to do is one's called play to own, which basically means you have the chance of winning NFTs from daily play. Those NFTs have an in-game function. I think I mentioned earlier, like if you're playing a barbarian and you win an NFT that day, the NFT is going to be like an archer or a different class of character. So by owning that archer, you can actually play that in-game character, that archer in-game. And we're hoping to release maybe every 1 to 2 months. We're hoping to release a new in-game character with a new NFT collection. So 6 months from now, we'll be giving out six different NFTs a day. We'll be maybe an archer, a druid, a monk, a warlock, or whatever classes. So the rewards will kind of build as we go and introduce new characters. And then the other system is a risk to earn, which is another popular system. A lot of people usually don't mind paying a small fee to be able to possibly win more. So we'll have a system where maybe daily and weekly, you can come in, you can pay just a little bit of fee up front, kind of get entered into a little contest where we have a leaderboard or a tournament system to where you play in the top 10, win a little bit of KDA. We'll be using KDA for those type of functions, which helps KDA and the volume and things like that, and that keeps us from having to do our own token. But so it'll and if the market moves, like if KDA gets back up to $30-$50 a coin, we will decrease the amount of KDA to get into those tournaments. We're not going to ask people for half a KDA if it's $100, $100 coin. We don't want people paying $50 a day to earn. That's just not that. People aren't going to do that. So we'll adjust numbers as we go. We'll try to keep it to where it's only 50 cents to $1 a day. If you wanted to jump into one of those tournaments with the potential of winning a good chunk of KDA. So we'll try to keep everything as feasible as possible with things like that. We want it to be fun and not get greedy with it.
Yeah, and the system is, I think, also really good because you could have different coins and whatever. But first, I think building a coin and utilizing a coin can be pretty difficult. The Wizards have done it perfectly, but I mean, you are not necessarily doing it with a token. You're doing it with NFTs. And I think because those NFTs have a utility, they are being used in game like it's an actual NFT. It's not just a JPEG. This is already the utility because it's digital ownership, like you own it, and it's not what so many people say just a scam project or whatever, right? So it's the actual NFT, and you can trade it, you can sell it, you can play other games with it, and it's all connected, and it grows larger in this system, which is so cool. So it's growing with the chain web, right?
Yeah. We came up with those ideas. I did a lot of research on different play to earn systems and games and what works and what doesn't work and things. And we thought those were kind of two of the best ideas. The play to own was the main idea that we had come up with first. And that's the one we kind of went to some people we trusted and said, hey, we've got this system. We think this might work. And basically every one of those people were like, never really heard of something like that. That's pretty unique and that's very innovative. It'll be a great idea. And so as we tell people about it, people believe that the system is actually a very, very nice system that's a little more sustainable than having to deal with the coin and everybody trying to sell and trying to pay everybody every day and all that stuff. So and we love NFTs. So anything we can do with NFTs and get rewarding people with NFTs, we're gonna do that.
Right. What I forgot to ask you earlier, do you have a Flux Titan? What?
No, Kevin, my
Kevin's
brother.
got one.
And speaking of him, he wasn't able to be here this morning. Me and Noah tried to do this yesterday morning and had a couple technical difficulties with some of the Google Meets and everything else.
As always.
And so my brother wasn't able to be here yesterday, but he's and this morning he's got a wrestling tournament he's got to get ready for with his sons and stuff like that. So yeah, so unfortunately he couldn't be here. He says he loves everybody and thanks everybody watching and appreciates all the support and all that good stuff. But so yeah, he got one of the Flux Titan watches, but yeah, I wasn't able to.
I mean, I've got a question. So the Flux watches will get some NFTs and airdrops from the Flux Labs projects. Is this something you have talked about? Maybe have some rewards in future as being a partner of Flux Labs? Because this just came to my mind when I saw you guys partner with Flux Labs,
No,
and
but
then
that's a great idea. I love
and then
it.
I saw Kevin, and I was like, maybe something this could be dope.
Yeah, yeah. We try to figure something out. Yeah, we're open to ideas. We've had a couple of spaces where people have mentioned stuff to us, and we're like, "Ooh, that's good." Like we got to figure out how to do that. Like so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, we could. I'd love to. I mean, we've had people ask us about being able to stake the NFTs and all kind of other stuff. So I may be trying to reach out to Squeegee and Stake Factory and see about maybe if I get a little pool set up for our NFTs so people can stake them for possible rewards. And yeah, so we're looking at all options and anything we can do that will help grow the community and help benefit the community. I mean, if someone pops up and says, "Hey, there's this thing we can do with the utility with these NFTs," it's a good way to, for engagement or a good way for marketing or for the community making money off their NFTs or whatever that might be. I mean, we're all open. So we found a couple of websites already that have it's basically just a utility website for your NFTs. So it just has like a list of all this stuff that you can make utilities for your NFTs. And after you mint, you can go to them and actually just set up like a whole campaign on what you want your NFTs to do, whether they be for giveaways, whether they be for something else. You can just pick and choose on what you want your NFTs to be part of, and they'll help you set all of it up. So we found some really cool stuff out there so we know we got some other utilities we can do with stuff if we need to.
Oh, dude, it's so exciting. I mean, there's so much you can actually do with those NFTs, which just went completely under the radar because of just those normal JPEGs, which I don't even really think about anymore. I think everyone, or many people in the Kadena community who've been here since the start of the NFT projects popping up, are now more utility driven. Because I mean, okay, we understand all the JPEG and NFT stuff, but now to the actual technology, and now with Kadena and Pact, I mean, there's so many doors that are opening, and so many things you can do. So this is so exciting. Really looking forward to see where you guys are in 6 months.
Yeah, me too, for sure. Yeah.
So I don't know if you have something to say, or if you want to recap something, or maybe some alpha, something important.
The Battle Blocks game, we have a dev that's working on it right now. It was actually supposed to be done before the KPN thing on the 8th, the spaces on the 8th. But his brother ended up having surgery, so he had to take a couple of days off to take care of his brother, and so he's backed out to the game. He told me yesterday it'd be 24 to 48 hours for the game's done. Then we're going to be getting all that uploaded, and we're going to the OGs have been beta testing it, at least the first version of it. They've beta tested it. But now once we get this one back with some of those errors fixed, we're going to open the beta testing up to everybody in the Discord and let them jump in and play it and give us feedback and see about that. Trying to think if there was anything else I needed to say, but I guess not. I think we went over a lot of the project. We just have we have a lot of plans, and we're trying to start slow and build organically, and it may take us a little while to really get going, but I think we have a pretty good idea here on our hands here. We've got some really good partnerships. We've got some great backing and support. If we can start to just grow and keep working hard, I think we've got a good project here. So
just one more question about the Battle Blocks heads, right? Or heroes?
Heroes.
Hero, sorry, man. When is
We
it gonna
almost
be?
named it blockheads.
Yeah. I don't know. I have those two words in my head constantly, and it's always a coin flip chance. But whatever, whatever. How long is it gonna be in beta, or like when can we expect it coming out, like for everyone?
Well, we're gonna we'll drop it in the Discord for everybody to play. I'm gonna upload it to itch.io, which is a pre-testing website and things like that for gaming and stuff. So I'm gonna upload it there, and I might drop the address on Twitter and let everybody play. I mean, we're ready. We think we'll be ready to go live with it once all these errors are fixed and stuff. Of course, it is a little bit of a prototype. We hope to add to it. You had mentioned having game nights with it. We want to build in a 1v1 type of system where people can actually go in and battle each other in the game, or not each other directly. We're probably going to have like a timer function to see who can kill the most heroes in a certain amount of time. Is what we'll try to do first before try to do any like actual PvP type of stuff. But that way people we'll build a private room system with leaderboards and stuff like that. So anybody that has a certain link can share it with their friends. All their friends can hop into that room and be able to play 1v1 versus each other. So we've got some other plans for the game. But we hope to be able to drop that link kind of to everybody in the next few days. We're not trying to limit it really. We do want to get the game out. The developer is also going to upload it to Android. He and we'll probably have to find a different developer to get it up to iOS. It's a different process between iOS and Android, and our developer that's helping us with some of these errors doesn't do the iOS side, but there's a ton of people on Fiverr that do for pretty cheap. So we're hoping, and iOS is a little more picky with uploading stuff, so it may take a little longer with iOS. Sometimes they have to approve things, and it's whatever. But we're really hoping that the Android version of the game, because we built it out in Android web and iOS with mobile controllers and everything for the iOS version or for the mobile versions. So we're hoping to get it uploaded to Android in about the same time period in the next few days. So hopefully people that don't have access to a computer to where they can play it that way can be able to download it on Android and then play it. So and then hopefully iOS will be following up right behind it if it doesn't take too long.
Yeah, iOS always has its problems, whether it's crypto, whether it's any useful app that wants to launch. But
it's a control issue. They really want to make sure they control everything and they know exactly what's going into their app store. And I don't blame them. I mean, really, but it can be a pain when you're trying to do stuff.
Yeah, it's not only about security anymore, right? It's a little bit trickier than that. But anyways, I think lots of exciting stuff is coming to the Secret Garden of Kadena. In 2 days, there's gonna be the Freemint, and also jump into the Discord if you wanna check out the beta, if you wanna play Battle Block Heroes. Now I got it. And yeah, follow them on Twitter, stay up to date. And thank you, Kyle, for stepping by. Yeah, hope to see you around after the mint again.
Yes, sir. We can do another one soon when we start doing that 2D collection and building up to the game and stuff. We'll definitely do another one.
Definitely. And then hopefully Kevin will also have the time to join us.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
And everyone, don't forget to smash the like button. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next video. See ya.